What's up, Cowboy Nation? Let's talk concept. The Cowboys looked at this draft and said, let's get back to physicality. And the mentality of these guys got the physical part of it. And let me start off by saying 12 personnel first. The Dallas Cowboys, when they went on their run last season, when they were utilizing 12 personnel, the Dallas Cowboys, believe it or not, they were third ranked in rushing. And on top of that, that helped out the offense as it relates to efficiency. Getting back to the physical nature of the Dallas Cowboys has been always the way. And the reason being is when you look at Kellen Moore and his system and his construct, it's a derivative of Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. The only thing that's different, you do a little motion before the plays. But basically, same plays. And getting back to 12, going back to the base. And I think that is where the Cowboys will utilize the most out of their offense. Dak Prescott dropping back, looking for the tight end. Now, on top of that, Jalen Tolbert, if you think of him, physical wide receiver, I like his skill set as well. He will come in competing against James Washington. And James Washington is not going to just sit back and say, here you go. But neither here nor there. Jake Ferguson, the 6'5", 240-ish pound guy, I think that he brings back the mindset. Now, will it be a walk in the park for him? No. McKeon is looking at this thing saying, all right, cool. Oh, that's how y'all feel? You're going to get another tight end to try to replace me? So that competition is everything. And when you think of Dalton Schultz, the $11 million, we're just going to round that up, that the Cowboys about to pay him, that's a lot of money. We can save some money if they come up with a long-term deal. But that $11 million is a lot of money, right? But that's a story of a different day. This could be the situation that Jake Ferguson could be just like Dalton Schultz. It pretty much runs the same, he got the same temperaments. And Schultz coming out of the draft, he was known as a blocker, though. So Schultz improved on his route running, and some people said, man, he regressed on his blocking. And that's just go back to what you put your mind to, right? But I just feel collectively that when you get back to 12 look, it makes the offense go. If you keep this in mind, the Cowboys were third ranked in rushing, and they averaged, I believe, 130 yards a game rushing. When they was in 12 or when they was on this run from 6-1, when they had the 6-1 run or what have you, they was running the ball. It was run, Dallas, run it. And that's what happened. When you got out of that look and you start being more finesse, a lot of three and outs. I think that if the Cowboys look back at everything, they say, look, let's change the mindset, the temperament. And one thing that Mike McCarthy kept telling Jerry Jones, remember the playoff. Physicality. That is the new mentality of the Dallas Cowboys. Think of this. When you think of John Ridgeway, don't look at the stats. I get it. He only had 4 sacks. He only had around 13 to 14 tackles for loss. Not a long time in that spot. He was transitioned from an offensive lineman over to an interior defensive tackle. He's 6'6", 320 pounds. He can move. He's better against the run versus pass rush. Those guys tend to not have a lot of gaudy numbers, but they do stack up a lot of these type of things, pushing the pocket back. And I'm not saying that he is he's a guy that's gonna just maul everything back. No. He got to fight for his role, but it's the identity. Normally, the Cowboys don't do these type of draft picks. Regardless, they want to go with flash. They want to go with edge rushers. They want to go with maybe, just maybe, DBs and things like that. But now that you focusing in, or linebackers, they focusing in on the interior. Big Bo and John Shoot. I love the mindset. Those boys are going to fight it out. And even if both make it, and I believe that both will make it, by the way, even if you look at it like this, let's rotate this thing, baby. Or let's put them in at the same time. Navier Gallimore will be looking at this situation, and Osa. Tristan Hill. They got to fight for it. And truth be told about Tristan Hill, the spurts that he was able to get out there to play just a little bit last year, he gave us a little flashes, right? and then he wanted to throw hands and run. What was it, the Raiders game? He threw some hands and then ran off. But this is a contract year for him, and nothing will be given to him freely. He's going to have to fight for it, claw for it, and dog near demand for it. And the only way you can get your demand is out there on the field. And I love every bit of that, Cowboy Nation. So when you look at John Ridgeway, it's a mentality aspect to it. And then when you think about Jake Ferguson, the 12 personnel, this thing can work out for us. And I really believe that Gallup, he's sitting back and he's looking at all of this wide receiver talent that's coming in. Now, his contract is guaranteed, so he ain't sweating. No. But if he have a dog mentality about him, he's going to be looking at this thing saying, oh, thanks for keeping the seat warm for me, or the spot hot for me, because it's mine. Because when I come back, y'all better sit back because this is my spot. I believe that the number one wide receiver, well, I'm going to break it down. CeeDee Lamb, number one. Number two is Gallup. And number three is for a dog fight. You got James Washington. Oh, my goodness. You got Jalen Tolbert. And you got one of these guys that's undrafted looking at this opportunity, licking their chops. And Simi Fehoko is sitting back saying, hey, man, I'm a 4'3" guy as well. Don't forget about me. And TJ Vasher, 6'6". Think about this. Out of all of the prospects in the last 2 years, none of them have more touchdowns than TJ Vasher. You have 25 of them in that red zone. So if anybody who want to bark and let them know that, hey, they got a dog mentality and need to come back and show up this offseason, it's TJ Vasher. Believe it or not. So he got a lot of work to do. And shout out to Ty Fry. I'm just going to say Fry because I can't say the man's whole last name right without messing it up. Shoot, he's the smallest wide receiver out of them. And he going to show up and say, hey, I want this spot too. And Ontario Drummond, shout out to him. Laura, Mississippi, shout out to Mississippi boys. I can't wait to see him. Of course, if you look back at some of his highlights, some people were banging on the table saying, Law, that's Cedric Wilson replacement right there, because he can throw the ball and catch. You know how that thing goes, and he runs wicked routes. Crazy, right? So I can't wait to see how the mentality piece work out for the Cowboys this 2022 off season. It's going to get real nasty, and that's what we want to see. DC for life, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Salute.